I live a double life. By day, a loving husband to Amanda for 6 years. By night, a covert CIA operative with specialized skills. The weight of keeping my past as a Marine sniper secret from her grew heavier each year. I thought I was protecting her, until that fateful night I returned home early. Her midnight phone call froze my blood. "Baby, this idiot doesn't suspect a thing. Send your hit team tomorrow. Make it look like a robbery gone wrong." My world shattered instantly. Let me know where you are watching from, and hit subscribe to follow my story of betrayal and survival. I joined the Marines at 19, young and idealistic. After basic training, my exceptional marksmanship caught my commander's attention. I was selected for sniper school, where I excelled at long-distance precision shooting, stealth operations, and battlefield intelligence. During 2 tours in the Middle East, I recorded 28 confirmed kills actions that saved countless American lives, but left invisible scars on my psyche. After 6 years of service, I received an honorable discharge at 26. Within weeks, a CIA recruiter approached me. My combat experience, psychological profile, and ability to perform under extreme pressure made me an ideal candidate for clandestine operations. I accepted their offer, transitioning from military to intelligence work, trading my sniper rifle for a more diverse toolset of espionage. 3 years into my CIA career at 29, I met Amanda during a charity gala in Washington, D.C. I was working undercover as David Crawford, a financial consultant for international investments, a cover that explained my frequent travel and irregular schedule. Amanda was breathtaking that night, in a midnight blue gown that complemented her auburn hair. Beyond her physical beauty, her sharp intellect and quick wit captivated me. She worked as an art curator at a prestigious gallery specializing in Eastern European collections. Our connection was immediate and intense. After dating for 8 months, I proposed, knowing I would never reveal my true profession. The decision weighed on me, but CIA protocol was clear: operational security required, maintaining my cover, even with a spouse. I convinced myself this deception protected her from the dangers and burdens of my reality. We married in a small ceremony in Virginia, buying a spacious suburban home with a finished basement I claimed as my home office, but secretly outfitted with secure communications equipment. Our life together seemed perfect on the surface. Amanda decorated our home with exquisite taste. We hosted dinner parties for her gallery colleagues, and we planned eventually starting a family. Looking back, there were warning signs I willfully ignored. Occasional unexplained absences she attributed to gallery emergencies. Strange phone calls that ended abruptly when I entered the room. Her intense interest in my travel schedule and meeting details. My training should have flagged these behaviors, but love blinded me. When suspicions of an affair surfaced in my mind, my trusting nature, perhaps the last remnant of my pre-military self, dismissed them. Despite my career deception, my love for Amanda was genuine. I dreamed of someday retiring from field operations, transitioning to an analyst position, and possibly then revealing my true background. I imagined us raising children, growing old together, eventually laughing about how she had been married to a spy without knowing. The universe, however, had different plans. 3 years into our marriage, I began noticing subtle changes in Amanda. More frequent late-night phone calls, new friends she never introduced me to, increased interest in my exact arrival and departure times. My counterintelligence training began whispering warnings I continued to ignore. I attributed her behavior to possible frustration with my frequent absences, or perhaps mid-marriage restlessness. By our 5th anniversary, these small anomalies had multiplied. Twice I found unknown male cologne in our bedroom that mysteriously disappeared before I could confront her. Hotel receipts for local establishments on nights she claimed to be working late. Text messages from unlabeled contacts that she quickly deleted. The evidence pointed to an affair, a painful but ordinary betrayal. I never suspected the truth was far more sinister. As we approached our 6th anniversary, Amanda suggested we renew our vows with a second honeymoon to Santorini, Greece. I was touched by the gesture and agreed enthusiastically even as I knew I might have to cancel if an operation demanded it. Her excitement seemed genuine, reinforcing my belief that any problems in our marriage were fixable. In retrospect, I realized this trip was likely planned as my final journey. The revelation that would shatter my world began innocuously. I returned home 36 hours early from what Amanda believed was a business trip to Singapore. In reality, I had been in Turkey part of a counter-terrorism operation that concluded sooner than expected. Rather than extend my stay for decompression as protocol suggested, I chose to surprise my wife with an early return. Our house was empty when I arrived at 3 in the afternoon. Nothing seemed immediately out of place, but my specialized training had taught me to notice subtleties most would miss. A glass with lipstick, not Amanda's shade on the counter. Couch cushions arranged differently than our usual pattern. The faint scent of unfamiliar cologne hanging in our bedroom. When Amanda returned at 7 that evening, her surprise seemed exaggerated, almost rehearsed. She claimed the lipstick belonged to her new gallery assistant, the cologne to a client who had stopped by to discuss a private collection. Her explanations were plausible, yet delivered too smoothly as if prepared in advance. That night as she slept, I made a decision that violated both my marriage vows and my personal principles. I would conduct surveillance on my own wife. Over the next week, while pretending to leave for another business trip, I instead established discreet observation points near our home. I installed nearly undetectable cameras and recording devices throughout our house, focusing on her office and our living areas. The first recordings revealed nothing unusual, just Amanda going about her daily routines. On the third day, however, I captured something that chilled me to my core. Alone in her office, Amanda made a call speaking fluent Russian, a language she had claimed no knowledge of during our years together. My Russian was limited to operational phrases, but I clearly understood her mentioning my name and travel schedule. That night I took a greater risk. While Amanda slept deeply aided by the sleep medication she regularly took, I accessed her laptop. Her password, our anniversary date, was easily bypassed. What I found shattered any remaining illusions. Hidden folders contained encrypted communications that even with my training I couldn't immediately decode. I copied the files to a secure drive, and the next day used CIA resources under the guise of a national security investigation to decode them. What emerged was unthinkable. Amanda was not having an affair. She was a deep-cover Russian intelligence operative planted to monitor my activities. Our entire relationship from our meeting to our marriage had been orchestrated. For 6 years I had lived with and loved a ghost, a fabricated persona designed to extract information from me. The woman sleeping beside me each night had been reporting on my movements, photographing documents I carelessly left visible, and planting surveillance devices in my belongings. The betrayal transcended personal heartbreak, crossing into professional catastrophe. That evening, I returned home with this devastating knowledge, hidden behind a practiced smile. We ate dinner together discussing mundane topics, while an abyss of betrayal yawned between us. After claiming exhaustion from travel, I retired early but set up additional monitoring devices focused on her nighttime activities. At precisely 1:17 a.m., Amanda slipped from our bed. Assuming I was asleep, she moved silently to her office, enabled signal jamming equipment I had never discovered during my years in the house, and placed a call. Through my monitoring devices, I heard the conversation that confirmed my worst fears and revealed imminent danger. The package still suspects nothing, she said in perfect Russian. All monitoring confirms regular behavior patterns. Then switching to English, baby, this idiot does not suspect a thing. Send your hit team in tomorrow. Make it look like a robbery gone wrong. All security systems will be disabled at 2 a.m. The man on the other end responded in accented English. Excellent work, Sparrow. After 6 years, your mission concludes tomorrow. The extraction team will eliminate the target and bring you home. Moscow misses you. My mind reeled as operational training battled emotional devastation. The woman I had built my life around, shared my bed with, planned a future with, had been sent to facilitate my murder. Our entire relationship, every intimate moment, every shared laugh and tear, had been a calculated performance. I was not just a deceived husband, but a compromised operative whose usefulness had expired. In that moment, as I listened to them discussing the details of my planned assassination, a cold clarity replaced my emotional turmoil. 6 years of loving Amanda were supplanted by years of tactical training. The husband receded, and the Marine sniper, the CIA operative, took control. If a 10-person hit squad was coming to kill me the following night, they would find not the unsuspecting target they expected, but a predator prepared for their arrival. With less than 24 hours before the hit team's arrival, I activated emergency protocols I had established years earlier, but never expected to use. Rather than immediately contacting CIA headquarters, I made a tactical decision to handle the situation personally. The revelation of Amanda's true identity raised questions about potential compromised elements within my own organization. Until I determined the extent of the infiltration, I would rely on my own resources and a select few trusted contacts. First, I needed to continue presenting normal behavior patterns to Amanda. At breakfast, I mentioned a potential overnight client meeting the following evening, setting up my alibi for being away from the house during the expected hit. She responded with practiced concern, suggesting I try to reschedule to avoid exhaustion from continuous travel. Her apparent care for my well-being, knowing she had scheduled my murder, demonstrated a level of emotional control that both impressed and horrified me. Once alone, I began systematically preparing our home. The finished basement, which Amanda rarely entered due to a fabricated mold allergy I had established years ago, as a security measure, became my tactical headquarters. From a concealed safe, I retrieved specialized equipment, non-lethal incapacitating devices, tactical communication gear, and defensive weapons. Our suburban home's layout offered both challenges and advantages for defense against multiple assailants. I methodically transformed ordinary household items into tactical assets. Furniture was subtly repositioned to create choke points. Almost invisible tripwires connected to non-lethal deterrents were installed at entry points. Specially designed pressure plates that would activate upon bearing an adult's weight were concealed under area rugs. Through a trusted CIA contact, I obtained intelligence on recent Russian operative movements in the area, without revealing my personal situation. Cross-referencing this information with local rental property records and surveillance camera footage from our neighborhood, identified 3 potential advanced scouts who had established positions near our home in recent weeks. My military training emphasized the importance of understanding the adversary's approach. Using specialized equipment, I detected the advanced surveillance devices the Russian team had already positioned around our property. Rather than disabling them, I utilized counterintelligence techniques to feed them looped footage, creating the illusion of normal household patterns, while concealing my preparations. By late afternoon, I had established multiple fallback positions throughout the house and neighborhood. A vacant house, across the street temporarily empty, while its owners vacationed, provided an ideal observation post. I secured access without leaving evidence, and set up remote monitoring equipment linked to my tactical gear. Throughout these preparations, the emotional weight of Amanda's betrayal continued to assault me in waves. 6 years of memories now poisoned by deception threatened to compromise my focus. Each photograph of us, each shared memento throughout the house, represented not just personal betrayal, but professional failure. How had I, with extensive counterintelligence training, been so completely deceived? As evening approached, I initiated psychological countermeasures. During dinner, I casually mentioned noticing someone watching our house, observing the microsecond of tension in Amanda's expression before she dismissed my concern. I referenced a colleague whose identity had been compromised, noting that intelligence agencies often eliminate assets who have outlived their usefulness. Her hand trembled slightly as she reached for her wine glass. Before departing for my fabricated overnight meeting, I embraced her longer than usual, whispering that I would always protect her no matter what. The momentary stiffening of her posture confirmed my psychological warfare had created uncertainty about whether her cover remained intact. From my observation post in the vacant house, I watched Amanda's activities through the evening. At 9:30, she made a series of calls, checked and double-checked the house security systems, and prepared for her extraction. At 11:15, a nondescript sedan arrived. A man I recognized as one of the advance scouts entered our home meeting with Amanda for approximately 17 minutes. Their body language indicated a final operational briefing. As midnight approached, I completed my countermeasures, establishing a sophisticated response for each member of the incoming team. Unlike my days as a sniper where elimination was the primary objective, my current strategy focused on incapacitation and intelligence gathering. Each intrusion point was prepared with specialized, non-lethal traps, designed to neutralize without permanent damage, maximizing potential intelligence value. By 1:30 a.m., thermal imaging showed 3 vehicles approaching from different directions, maintaining communication silence. The vehicles stopped at predetermined points, dispersing 10 individuals who converged on my property using standard special operations movement patterns. Through my tactical gear, I observed their professional approach, confirming these were not common criminals, but highly trained operatives. As I prepared for confrontation, conflicted emotions threatened my focus. Part of me still saw the woman I had loved for 6 years. Another part recognized the lethal threat she represented. Professional training prevailed, compartmentalizing personal feelings to maintain tactical clarity. The hit team expected to find an unsuspecting target. Instead, they would face a predator in his natural environment, fully prepared for their arrival. At precisely 2 a.m., the Russian hit team initiated their assault. Through my tactical monitoring system, I tracked 10 separate heat signatures converging on my home from predetermined entry points. Amanda, visible through thermal imaging, moved to the master bedroom, establishing her alibi as a sleeping victim awakened by intruders. The team leader and 2 operatives approached the front entrance, while pairs of agents moved toward the side door, rear patio, and basement walkout. 2 snipers established overwatch positions on neighboring properties. Their coordination revealed extensive planning and professional training. As the front door lock was bypassed with specialized equipment, my countermeasures activated in sequence. The lead operative triggered a concealed pressure plate, releasing an aerosol compound of my own design that caused immediate disorientation without permanent effects. His 2 companions moved to assist him, triggering secondary devices that temporarily incapacitated them with targeted electrical pulses. Simultaneously, the pair at the side entrance breached the door, only to encounter fishing line I had strung at ankle height, sending them stumbling into furniture I had strategically repositioned. As they regained balance, ceiling mounted devices deployed carbon fiber nets, weighted with non-toxic sedative packets that broke on impact. The basement team encountered more sophisticated countermeasures. As they navigated the darkened space, motion sensors triggered strobe lights calibrated to induce temporary vertigo, coupled with directional sound emitters, broadcasting frequencies that disrupted inner ear function. Disoriented and separated, they were easily neutralized with compressed air-delivered sedative darts from devices I had mounted in ventilation ducts. The rear patio team, finding sliding doors unlocked as Amanda had promised, entered cautiously, but failed to detect the transparent adhesive compound I had applied to the flooring. As their tactical boots became increasingly immobilized with each step, their confusion provided the seconds needed for knockout gas canisters concealed in decorative vases to activate. Throughout the house, my custom-designed countermeasures systematically neutralized each intruder without lethal force. The snipers, observing their team's failure through communication devices, abandoned their positions only to be intercepted by local assets. I had alerted through secure channels trusted CIA colleagues who responded to my emergency signal without official authorization. 8 minutes after the initial breach, 9 of the 10 operatives were incapacitated. Only the team leader, showing exceptional training, had avoided the primary countermeasures. As he moved tactically toward the master bedroom where Amanda waited, I finally revealed my presence. Looking for me, I asked, stepping from a concealed position in the hallway. His training was evident in his immediate response, drawing his weapon with impressive speed. Before he could fire, however, my specialized projectile launcher deployed a compression restraint that encircled his arms and torso, immobilizing him instantly. "Crawford," he said in accented English, recognition dawning in his eyes. "You knew. I know everything," I replied, securing his restraints, "including who sent you." With the team neutralized, I proceeded to the master bedroom where Amanda sat perfectly composed on our bed, a small caliber pistol in her hand. Seeing me rather than her extraction team, her expression shifted from confidence to calculated recalibration. "David," she said, using my cover name, "thank God you're here." "Intruders broke in. I was about to call the police." "Enough, Sparrow," I replied, using her code name from the intercepted call. "The performance is over." Her transformation was remarkable to witness. The loving wife persona vanished, replaced by the cold efficiency of a trained operative. Her posture, voice, even her facial expressions reconfigured into someone I had never truly known. 6 years, I said, maintaining distance from her still-armed figure. "Was any of it real?" "Define real," she replied with clinical detachment. "The orgasms were real, the laughter sometimes. The rest was operational necessity. And tomorrow you would have identified my body with appropriate grief before disappearing forever." She shrugged slightly. "Nothing personal. You were an assignment that exceeded its operational value." As we maintained this surreal confrontation in the bedroom, we had shared for years, CIA extraction teams I had alerted through trusted channels secured the perimeter. Professional counterintelligence agents entered the room, taking Amanda into custody, along with her incapacitated team. The subsequent 24 hours passed in a blur of debriefings and operational assessments. The intelligence gathered from Amanda and her team proved invaluable, revealing a broader Russian operation targeting multiple American intelligence assets. My decision to handle the situation personally rather than through official channels was retroactively authorized given the high-level infiltration discovered within certain agency departments. 6 months later, I sat in a secure CIA facility, completing my final psychological evaluation before returning to active duty. The deception of my 6-year marriage had left profound psychological impacts that required intensive therapy. Through this process, I confronted not just Amanda's betrayal, but my own role in our mutual deception. Though her betrayal was operational and mine protective, we had both built a relationship on fundamental dishonesty. Having passed my evaluations, I transferred from field operations to the training division where my experience could benefit new recruits without requiring deep cover assignments. During a training exercise, I met Sarah, another instructor with a background in counterintelligence. Unlike my relationship with Amanda, I established complete transparency from our first conversation, sharing my true professional background and personal history. 1 year after the night my marriage ended with an attempted assassination, I sat across from Sarah at a quiet restaurant near Langley. Our relationship had developed slowly, built on a foundation of mutual respect and complete honesty. The weight of perpetual deception had lifted, allowing me to present my true self to someone who understood the unique challenges of our profession. "Do you ever miss her?" Sarah asked, the directness I had come to appreciate evident in her question. "I miss who I thought she was," I replied truthfully. "But that person never existed." The healing journey had been neither quick nor easy. Nightmares of Amanda's betrayal plagued me for months. Trust, once my natural inclination, had become a conscious choice, requiring continuous effort. Yet through therapy, professional support, and the authentic connection with Sarah, I had begun rebuilding. The deepest lesson from my 6-year deception emerged gradually: relationships cannot thrive in darkness. Whether for operational security or emotional protection, deception ultimately undermines the very connections we hope to preserve. Though Amanda's betrayal nearly cost my life, it paradoxically freed me to pursue authentic relationships built on truth rather than tactical necessity. Have you ever discovered a devastating betrayal from someone you completely trusted? How did you rebuild your life afterward? Share your experiences in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to hear more stories of survival and resilience. Share this video with someone who might be struggling to rebuild trust after betrayal. Thank you for listening to my journey from deception to truth. Remember, even in our darkest moments, authentic connection can light the way forward.